How do real estate agent fees work is going to be the topic of today's quick investing tip. Hi there, Ryan Black, real estate investor and lifestyle architect here. And on today's quick investing tip, I want to chat with you a little bit about a commonly misunderstood topic for newer investors, and that is real estate agent fees. What are they? Why do we have them? And how do they work? I want to clarify first, I am not a real estate agent. I'm not a realtor. Currently, maybe in the future I'll become one. I don't know. But right now, I have no desire to be one because I am solely focused on what I do best, which is being the head of the project. As investors, we are the brains of the operation, and we purchase properties, rehab them, or do another strategy to them, and then hold them or sell them. And what do realtors do? They represent a buyer or a seller in a real estate purchase or sales transaction. So if you're looking to buy a house for you and your family, commonly you'll hire an agent or a realtor to represent you in that purchase, right? We don't have a license. We don't need to have a license because we are buying and selling our own properties. It's a different area of real estate. We are not agents. But we still need to understand how agent fees work because it does affect our bottom line. So when you have a transaction, when you have a sale of a property where agents are involved, you're going to have, let's do the traditional. You'll have two agents, right? You'll have the listing agent and the buyer's agent, right? So the buyer has the buyer's agent, and then the seller has the listing agent. They call them the listing agent because they are the agent who lists the property on the MLS or the multiple listing service, which is simply the database where all of the agents go to see what properties are available in that area. And so how it works is typically there is a 6% agent fee to cover for the services that the agents render in the transaction. 6%. 3% goes to the listing agent and 3% goes to the buyer's agent. Who pays for that? The seller. Why does the seller pay for that? The seller pays because they want to sell their property, and so they pay 3% to their listing agent for the effort they do, and then they are offering kind of as a carrot, dangling a carrot for the buyer's agent to say, hey, bring your buyers here. If they like the house and they buy it, you will make 3% of the purchase price as a commission, as a thank you for bringing me the buyer. So the sellers always will pay the full commission, right? The listing agent commission and the buyer's agent commission. Now, 6% is standard, 3 and 3 for each. Is that negotiable? Absolutely. Could you offer less than 3% to a buyer's agent? Yes, but I wouldn't. Why? Put yourself in the shoes of the buyer's agent. If you are looking at all these different properties that you can show your client, and every single property is going to offer you as the agent a 3% commission, and then you got one guy who's offering you a 1.5% or 2%, are you going to be really that motivated to go and show your client that house where you're going to make less money if they like it? Of course not. You're going to focus on the ones where you make the most money as an agent, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's their business. They're going to run, they're going to do it what makes sense for them. And so we never short on the buyer's agent side the commission. When I say that it's negotiable, that's more on the listing agent side because we are a volume business. So as we build relationships with different agents and they know, hey, you're not going to get one listing from me every 10 or 15 years. We do a lot of properties. And by moving a lot of properties, you're going to have the opportunity to work with us more and more and more. And while you may earn less on a per transaction basis, the transaction is going to be smooth, easier, right? We know what we're doing. You don't have to do as much work. And so because of that volume basis, if you negotiate it correctly, they will be willing to accept a much lower percentage as a listing agent. Sometimes just a flat fee or sometimes just a very low percentage of the listing price. Now, it is important to keep in mind that all agents, they work under the license of a brokerage, right? So they have their license, but they have to be associated with a brokerage that represents or that houses a bunch of different agents. And that brokerage will take a percentage of their fee. So when we say, hey, the buyer's agent gets 3%, that 3% is not going to go all into the agent's pocket. Every brokerage is a little bit different, but the brokerage will take a piece of that. Sometimes it's a point, sometimes it's half a point. I mean, it just depends on the brokerage. But the brokerage will take a percentage or a portion of the money that goes to them. So that's important to keep that in mind. If you're negotiating and working with somebody, as a listing agent, that if you get them down so low, they're not going to make anything. And obviously we want to keep our team happy, make sure that it's a win-win for everybody involved. So just keep that in mind. One common situation that you may see as an investor is that of a FSBO, right? A for sale by owner. And sometimes people, for lack of education, they think, oh, if I've got my property, I'm going to sell it myself as a FSBO. I'm going to do for sale by owner, go buy a sign down at the hardware store, stick it in front of my yard, and I'm going to save myself 6% on that sale. And then they wonder why nobody is calling about their property and why no agents are calling or anything, right? It's because they are not offering the buyer's agent commission. It's important that even if you do list it as yourself, right? If you're for sale by owner, that you are still offering a buyer's agent commission. Now you can save 3% on the listing. If you know what you're doing and you have all access to the MLS and you have all the resources and everything, there are ways of doing it. But keep in mind that even if you do a FSBO and there is an agent involved on the other side, they're going to be expecting their commission. There are situations, depending on the contract that the buyer has with their buyer's agent, where the buyer would actually be responsible for paying the commission for their buyer's agent if it is a FSBO and you're not offering any commission. But once again, if that's the deal, the agent's probably not even going to bring their client to your house anyways. So it's really important to ensure that people understand, that the agents understand, yes, regardless of how you're listing it, we're doing a full buyer's agent commission or BAC, and that way they're going to be motivated to bring their buyer to your property and take a look at it. And you can save money. We like never pay 6% when we're selling a house because we have people we work with who we've negotiated with. So it is important, but commonly misunderstood cost for selling your property. And it's important to factor that into your numbers when you're doing your analysis. One final thought I want to leave you with is this. When you are dealing in a situation where there are no agents involved, for example, if we go and we speak directly with a distressed homeowner, and we say, look, we'd like to purchase your house, we want to help you out, this is what we can do. In that situation, there will not be any commissions because there are no agents involved. So that's the one situation where, as an educated investor, we deal directly with the seller. Then there are no commissions because there are no agents. So there are situations where we're going to have zero commissions paid out, but those are kind of special situations. For most people, there's always going to be some type of agent commission involved. So make sure you include it in your numbers. And hopefully this quick tip helped clarify what that is and how it works for you today. Thanks for joining me on today's video. If you're interested in learning more about active or passive real estate investing, or if you're an agent yourself, I hope I didn't offend you with what I said today. If you're an agent and you want to get into the realm of investing, because being an investor is completely different than being an agent. Has nothing to do with it. Very, very different skill set, knowledge, everything is very different. Reach out to me. Let's chat. Love to have a conversation. Thanks for watching. Take care.